Okay, we're going to roll right now into our race-winning team for the 53rd annual Daytona 500. We've got our crew chief, Donnie Wingo, and two of the owners over at the Wood Brothers, Eddie Wood and Leonard Wood. Congratulations to this race team, the 21 car back in Victory Lane for the Daytona 500, the fifth time that it's been in Victory Lane here at Daytona. I'm going to start with you, Eddie, and just ask your emotions, your thoughts about winning the 53rd running of the Daytona 500.
Hey, man, it hasn't really sunk in yet. We've struggled so much in the past couple of years just to make the Daytona 500, much less win it, is just so special. I mean, so many people that's responsible for this that, it's just unbelievable we're sitting here. Trevor Bayne did such a good job. I mean, to be 20 years old and go out there and, and go fender to fender with all these guys, he's got the composure and the savvy of a veteran, and now he's a Daytona 500 winner. So I'm just so happy for him. I'm happy for my dad. Excuse me. I'll lose it in a minute. But anyway, just so much happened in the last 10 laps in my head. I walked in Victory Lane with Richard Petty and Edsel Ford, my dad. I don't know how much better that can get. So, hell, I can't do this.
Thank you, Eddie. How about it, Leonard? Leonard, how about what's it feel like to win out there today?
Yeah, I'm Lynn. Leonard's my uncle.
I got you. Go ahead, Lynn.
Like I say, we just so tickled to be here. Ford Motor Company has stood behind us for 60 years now, 61 to be exact, and it's just unbelievable that we could keep a team. Our dad and Leonard have won in 7 decades now, and just so proud of that. Like I said, we've been Ford all of our entire racing, and and to be a part of NASCAR. I mean, it's just, like I said, this is the greatest feeling that you can have. We were here for. I was part of the '76 win with Pearson. I think Eddie was here with Foyt in '72 and Pearson in '76. But Trevor did such a great job. You think, well, what's your biggest win? Well, this is the top of the stack right now.
Thank you, Lynn. And Donnie Wingo, how's it feel to get into Victory Lane for the Daytona 500?
It feels really good. I mean, I've known these guys here for probably about 30 years. So with everything the way it worked out last year and the opportunity for me to come over and work with this great group of people, I couldn't be prouder, couldn't be happier. And the job the kid done today, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else. There at the end, he hadn't had to lead all day or get pushed, and there at the end he did what he needed to do, and I'm just proud of it. I mean, I've been doing this for like 30 years, and just to be a part of this win with these guys, and we had a lot of people to help us do this. We wrecked that car in the 150s, and basically we had to put 2 sides on it, and a lot of guys pitched in and helped to put it back together, and if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have been able to keep this car running this week.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Lynn, Eddie, or Donnie. If you have questions, raise your hand and we'll come to you. Please start right here with Tom. State your name and who you're with, please.
Tom Jensen, Speed.com. This is for Eddie over here. I talked to you last month at media. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great story. I talked to you last month at Media Tour and asked you, do you think the kid could win a race this year? Which seemed like kind of a remote prospect given that you're only running a partial schedule. But you said he had a maturity of a guy who'd been in a car for 20 or 30 years. Can you talk about what he was like on the radio today and, the communication you guys had with him and just kind of how the race went for you? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like I said, Donnie is the gentleman that talked to him on the radio, but I was, I was just a bystander listening, but he was very calm, and he was, whoever he was pushing, he was relaying back to our spotter, to their spotter, how he needed it to be done. When he plugged in, if he needed to be the guy to drag the brake or to come back a little more, and and he knew how to go fast. And it's like I told you, a while back. That's what I noticed in him right off the bat. He knows how to do this. And I was talking to Richard Petty earlier in the week. We were talking about how well he did in the qualifiers, and how do you do that? Your first time at doing it, and we decided that he didn't know how to do it wrong. It's new to him. It's all brand new, and so how he did it was correct, and he caught on to the way that everyone else was doing it. We were on top of the hauler during the first qualifier, and he watched Matt Kenseth pull out to the right, and he said, I think I'm going to do that, and he went right out there and did it. And he just like things that he's got a tremendous awareness, I guess, in the car that the great ones are like that, and I've listened to a lot of drivers on the radio, and he reminds me of the great ones. He will be the great one. I told somebody the other day that I felt like he just might be the next big deal, and I think he is. Yes, sir.
Let's go upstairs to the press box right now for questions for Lynn or Eddie or Donnie. Go ahead, please.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Sorry I'm not there. Congratulations, guys. Just talk a little bit about when Jack put this whole thing together. You were almost like a little apprehensive, and what was the turning point for you?
Me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, me. Yeah, it would be me. We were the last couple of years. We've been on our own. We've been doing our own engineering along with Ford Motor Company, and we were small, and it was just getting to the point that you just couldn't quite get where you needed to get, no matter how much money you spent, no matter how much work you did, you just couldn't quite get over the hump to get to the point that you were competitive every week. So we talked to Jack, and we worked out a plan for us to buy his race cars and line up with all of his engineering, and it's worked out perfectly. I mean, it started. We ran the last 3 races last year like that, and it's just been flawless. I mean, the guys over at Roush Fenway, have just really treated us like family. Jack's treated Lynn and I just like 2 sons, and I'm really proud of that. Donnie was already a part of their world, and he came over to be part of ours, and it's really, 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 really one Ford, just like the slogan says. And I'm just, I think it's the happiest I've been. And Lee, that's what I'm talking to Lee Spencer. I think I told you that last week. This is probably the happiest, the calmest that I've been in about 10 years. So it's all good.
Stay upstairs in the press box. Go ahead, please.
He doesn't, Justin is that for Donnie Wingo. Donnie, on the media tour, you were, I don't know if you told everybody, Tim, but you certainly told me how Bayne was the real deal. And what is it that made you so bullish on his ability that the rest of us didn't see it until today?
I think if you just watch the way he races, I think the biggest thing that, these new guys coming in now, a lot of them can go fast, but they still struggle racing. And I think that, he don't put himself in a bad position. It's just like today and even all week when we were down here testing, he didn't get to do any drafting because I wouldn't let him because I didn't want to tear the car up or anything like that. But he kept wanting to draft. But I just think he adapts so well, to certain situations and just the racing part of it. He just catches on so well racing and don't put himself in a bad position. And I think that's a sign of a good racer.
We'll stay upstairs in the press box for 2 more. Go ahead, please.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. For Eddie or Lynn, either one of you can answer this. For a lot of older fans of the sport, they remember the Wood brothers for the winning and success. But for the new fans, many might have only heard your stories, but not seen the wins. What have been the challenges or the burden of trying to maintain that reputation those last 10, 15 years, and what does a night like tonight mean in regards to that?
Michael will have to answer that too. Where we were, I mean, Lynn and I grew up in the Pearson era. I mean, we were part of that. We were Leonard's little helpers. We didn't do a lot, but we were there. And, you know, when we kind of started downhill after all that, and you begin to think you can never get back, but you keep trying, and just the fact that you want one more trophy, and you just can't quit, you know, and we never did quit. We just kept trying, and like I said, it's so many people that's responsible for us just sitting here. We're just a small part of it, and it's just bringing back the red and white car with the gold numbers that Pearson drove. That just seemed like it put things back to normal. I told Richard Petty early in the week he needed to paint his car back blue with the orange stripes up the top, and the world would be correct. And I believe that. I believe our car is supposed to be red and white with a gold number. His is supposed to be Petty blue with an orange stripe across the top of it with a big white 43. And whenever that happens, I'll be happy.
Thank you, Eddie. Right now we've been joined by Trevor Bayne, today's race winner. Trevor, how does it feel to win the Daytona 500?
If I tried to put it into words, I wouldn't be doing it any justice, that's for sure. But, man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't ask to be sitting up here with any better guys than these three that are up here. And then Glenn and Leonard, who laid the foundation for this whole thing, because, I mean, if it wasn't for these guys, there is no way I'd be sitting up here. They gave me a rocket ship that definitely did me a lot of justice today. So anybody I hooked up with, I mean, it was headed to the front. And to get this win, I mean, it's my first win in NASCAR, period, in any of the top three series. My first Sprint Cup win, our second ever race. I mean, that's setting the standard. I'd say that for sure.
I think you're exactly right. Let's take, we've got another question up in the press box. Like I said, we've been joined by Trevor Bayne. Go ahead, press box. We'll take one more and then come back down here. Go ahead.
Yes, Louis Frank of Reuters. Trevor, Donnie Wingo, you're our young kid. Donnie Wingo is old school, yet he brought Juan Pablo Montoya to winner's circle and McMurray. I was wondering, how do you two relate?
You see us up here picking on each other. He still acts young, you know. He can be a winner with anybody, and I really believe that. And these guys can be a winner with anybody, any decade. So, you know, they've been doing this for a long time. Donnie and I were just talking about how long he's been trying to do this, and I never would have thought I'd be the guy to give somebody their first Daytona 500 win, but I can't thank these guys enough. I mean, it's incredible. Donnie, I mean, the whole crew, I mean, everybody that's out there, they spent nights and days and rotisseries and all kinds of stuff just getting that race car right, and they put a lot of time into it, and it paid off for them.
Okay, let's come back downstairs. Let's come here to Marty Smith. Marty, you got a question?
Congratulations, gentlemen. Marty Smith with ESPN. Eddie, can you even begin to quantify how low it got for you guys to be the standard for so long and then be in a position where you don't even run the full schedule? And now this. I mean, you got this kid who wasn't even hardly born, you know?
How old were you the last time we won?
The last time you won, he was 10, and before that, he was 3. That's crazy, man.
I bet 1991 even makes you feel a little old, doesn't it? I'm just kidding.
I was born in 1976, young man. Thank you.